1, 2, 3.
Nate Carroll is pushing away
49, 50,
and on a mission to do 1 million push-ups in 2019.
90.
My highest so far is 3,800 push-ups in one day.
2, 3.
During my lunch period, I'll usually do between 500 and 800 push-ups.
6, 7.
And then typically at the end of the day when I get home, I will finish off the remainder of 1,000 or so that I have left to do.
But it's not for his personal gain.
25, 26.
It's for our men and women in blue.
And our goal is to thank officers in all 50 states and all 3,142 counties.
Nate and his kids began their own law enforcement challenge at the beginning of the year.
During times of need, times of crisis, that's the people we look to help us, to get us into safety, to reassure us that everything's going to be okay, that help is there for them.
And we're just trying to respect the officers for what they do because lots of people just ignore them.
His kids, Charlie, Louie, and Millie, are in on the challenge too.
And I wanted to include my children in it to help them kind of develop their appreciation for law enforcement and to teach them all that goes into law enforcement.
Let me do the explosion.
So what we typically do is when we see a police officer, we'll stop and thank them for their service to the community. We really appreciate everything you do.
While we're around town here and stuff too, if we see a police car going by or if we see one in like the school parking lot or something, we walk up to them and thank them. Pretty much almost every night we write letters to the officers.
Sometimes we write on computer, but most of the time we write on paper and send them.
And to keep track of all the officers and departments they've written to, they have a big map of the country right in their kitchen.
My family will take a look at the map. I'll say pick a state, pick a city, and then we will contact by letter the chief of police, and we'll basically write them a letter thanking them for their service.
Every state in America that we write to, we put a pin in it so that we know that we already written to them.
My hope is that they, through this challenge, that they focus on a bigger picture, something other than themselves, that so when they're older and more able, that they get the urge to assist others. So it's really important to me that I instill that in them.
Yeah, very nice.
So I get a little emotional about that.
And it seems to be working.
Before we started doing this challenge, I had no idea about like the emergencies or the rescues they had done. But now that we're researching on the internet and we're writing letters, and it kind of makes you more aware of the world around you and how they're helping us.
We've gotten feedback probably from about 30 different police officers thanking us, sending us patches, sending us coins.
And as far as the 1 million push-ups go?
Really the push-ups is about modeling goals and being a role model for my children.
And their goal of thanking the officers is not just for this year.
Even if we don't reach all 3,142 counties in 2019, I'm going to continue on until we reach that goal.
In Winneconne, Nate Stewart, Local 5 News.